Thank you so much for joining us, Mrs. Anjali.
Thank you.
So could you tell us about a few key thematic areas that SM Sehgal Foundation is working on currently?
Yes, so SM Sehgal Foundation has been working for more than 20 years only in rural areas, with rural communities, on thematic issues of social justice, water security, food security and education. So we have 4 major programs: water management, agricultural development, transform lives one school at a time, and good rural governance.
And you talked about the communities that you're working with in villages. So how do you engage with these communities around your interventions that you do there?
So even in our mission statement, right in the mission statement, it starts with the community-led development. So in all our programs, community comes first. So even before we start any program, we do the needs assessment. We go to the community and assess what are the primary needs. So it starts from the bottoms-up approach. So in community needs assessment, and even while planning any program, we involve the community in all the stages of a project cycle, be it planning, be it implementation, and be it post-implementation monitoring. So we create village development committees at the village level if there are any infrastructure projects. The VDC, the Village Development Committee, is basically involved in implementation, overseeing the programs, and to ensure that the program is sustainable. Community contribution is mandatory in all our programs, especially in infrastructure programs. And then in our governance programs, we work very closely with the village level institutions and citizens. Village level institutions in terms of panchayats, in terms of school management committees, village health, sanitation and nutrition committees. And then we have citizen information schools, what we call as village leadership schools, whom we give trainings and information on various government entitlement and programs. So community is the key, engagement is the key across all our programs for sustainability.
Now, another aspect that comes towards when you talk about engagement is about dialogue, and a thing that you're working on is using community media in making sure that the interventions are well received. So how do you go about that and creating those conversations?
We organize interface workshops with the government also, where we bring in the government functionaries and we bring the community at one level, and there is an interface so that there is a direct dialogue between the community and the government, and we facilitate those dialogues. I think it is very, very important that the voices of the people are heard. And we have a community radio, Alfaze Mewat it's called, which is in Nuh district of Haryana. So that is a very, very powerful medium which brings voices of the people to the various stakeholders, and it also provides very adequate information to the community about various programs, about various entitlements. We also invite experts from different areas in this community radio, and people just call in and they ask the questions directly. So it's a very open forum.
Talking about your personal experience, which has been in rural development, women empowerment and governance, so how does that come into play when you're working towards interventions for the SM Sehgal Foundation?
Yeah, so see, I have worked in the area of governance and I have worked in the area of women empowerment very closely with the communities, right? So I have a very good understanding of the project management and the needs of the community. If we say that the program is sustainable, I know that it's a broad vision and it will take time. When I talk about women empowerment, we know that how important and difficult it is to bring the women forward in any program. But I believe, and I have seen from my own experience, that if an opportunity is given, the women are great leaders in all the programs at the village level. So in all our programs now, we ensure, that is from the top leadership, that women are equal stakeholders in all our programs. And I also feel there are thematic areas, for example, agriculture, water, women are the ones who work in the fields. Women are the ones who handle water. Women send their children to schools. They are very interested. So women are really very interested, and they are the important stakeholder in all the programs. So as a part of the management team, and as a part of giving leadership to the organization, it's our mandate now to have women empowerment as a theme which cuts across all programs. And governance is, of course, the piece which provides sustainability. So, I know unless governance in terms of working with panchayats and citizens and empowering them, unless that is done, there will not be an impact, and the programs will not be sustainable.
So what are some of the suggestions that you would have for the organizations in the sector that you're working in the thematic areas, and how can they create sustainable strategies for their interventions?
Yeah, so it is, I think, very, very important that community participates from the very beginning. And, in many organizations, because of maybe paucity of funds, they work on a project mode. I think it's very important to think beyond the time limit and time specificity of the projects. There needs to be time for building relationship with the community, for rapport building, for mobilizing the community, for conducting baselines to assess impact later on. So a lot of time and commitment is required, and I think it is very important. And during the project also, if the responsibility of monitoring is given to the community, only then can the project be sustainable, because otherwise the community thinks, it's your work, it's your job, and you are getting funds from someone, and you're just implementing it. So no. So we always talk the language of participation and commitment from the community, which is very important. And even post the project, it is important to be in that geography for a few years, at least for some time, so that things don't fall back. So it's important to continuously engage with the community and see whether the project is sustainable, and what support does the community need. One more thing is that, of course, there are array of needs. So it is very important, while we are preparing a strategy for the organization, to really look at specific focus areas. Because unless we are focused, it will be difficult to create an impact. And then, of course, towards the end, to conduct inline assessment, evaluation studies, impact assessment after a few years. Those are very important.
Now, moving ahead with another aspect of work that you worked on, which is gender-specific issues. So which aspects of the cause do you feel are overdone and have overlapping organizational interventions in the space, and which one needs more attention as such? So say if it's a gender-specific issue, so education of girls has been done by many organizations. But if we talk about jobs, about a particular gender, that's still something that lags a lot of attention. So which other aspects do you think need attention or have been overdone in the space?
I think it is very important to work on participation of women in governance. Of course, it has been talked about participation of women in panchayats is poor, and we talk about panchayat pati and things like that. But it is something which I have seen makes a tremendous impact if we mobilize women and enroll them in participation of village governance, be it at the panchayat level or as representatives of other committees at the village level, be it school management committee, village health and sanitation committees, and or as a citizens group to demand their rights. So I think and the training on leadership is very important. It's not just about content of the programs. It's important to have a systematic training on leadership, where they are sensitized about how powerful they are as a woman. So things like that. Another thing, I think, yes, livelihoods is important, but women in rural areas are already so overburdened. They work in the agriculture fields, they fetch water, firework, cattle, domestic chores. There are so many things which they are engaged in. What is very important is to give recognition in what they are doing. For example, they spend hours and hours in the agricultural fields, but they are not recognized as farmers.
Yes.
So to give them recognition in what they are doing, I think is very important. And yes, of course, in rural areas where we work, job opportunities are very limited, because again, mobility of women is sometimes a problem because they are so involved in their household chores. So it is so important to work with the men and also work on other life skills in which women have more say in the decision making. They can have discussion with the men folk, and the men, they participate and share their burden.
And what are some of the future projects or interventions in, say, agriculture that the foundation is focusing on or looking forward to? Considering the COVID has hit a lot of the regions in terms of the produce, and so what is it that you're looking to change in the sector?
So yes, see, agriculture is very, very important now, since a lot of migrant workers have come back to their states, so many of them will not have any other source of livelihood. And what we are perceiving is that they will again go back to agriculture. So providing technical support so that the income from agriculture becomes more profitable for the farmers. So, working with this new set of migrant farmers who have come back to their villages, mobilizing them and engaging them in what we have been doing. That is very, very important for for their livelihoods. I think that is something which we have planned also, and we are going to work also. We have already started working in many states. We have started giving inputs to farmers, and because now the sowing season is there, because of the season, we have already started those activities. So that is on agriculture. Another very important aspect in the coming days is, of course, community radio, because community radio is again a very powerful tool. So more and more programs, even related to agriculture, and the programs which the government announces is very important. Then we have what we call as Citizen Information and Support Center, which is a call-in facility where any villager can just call in. It's a toll-free number. We are doing it in 2 states at the moment, Bihar and Rajasthan, and we provide information on any type of government programs and schemes. So complete information. We also help them in filling up forms, how to access those entitlements from the government. So we really are like a catalyst which would like to expedite the whole process of accessing the government programs and schemes. So that is what we do. CISC, Citizen Information Support, and of course water is another program. Because of COVID, again, you need water for hand washing, right? So we do a lot of work on roof water harvesting. So because availability of water is again a problem in the village, so availability of water is something immediately we have been doing, and now we will in fact do it with a greater force, because we want to harvest the rainwater. The rains are going to come in a couple of months. So a lot of focus on availability of water in villages, so that water is available for hand washing. So these are some of the immediate programs. Also in education, in urban areas, of course, there have been classes, online classes, but in the rural areas, children are deprived of the education, and we work very closely in schools. So we will again, once the session starts, we will work closely in the schools. We work on digital literacy with the children, and so hand washing and COVID related information through digital literacy and life skills education. I think those are very important areas. Providing wash facilities in schools, roof water harvesting facilities in schools. So all those areas we are going to work.
So that brings us to the close of the conversation. It was wonderful talking to you, Mrs. Anjali. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Deepak. Thank you so much.